Sorry, Mr. Let me come to Mr. Thompson here. Where does this leave the Biafran agitators right now? Because from my own understanding, when you are declared a terrorist, you become an enemy of the state. In fact, walking the streets of that same state becomes an offense, isn't it? True. Where does this leave the Biafra agitators and their supporters?
Well, it gives us an opportunity for a rethink. First of all, I don't think the lives of the young boys who are killed, who are misled and killed, should go to waste. So my own counsel is this, from what the barrister said, there's a difference between reality and perception. I want to deal with reality. If we look at the Igbo culture, of all the people in Africa, they have leadership skills that if it were to be properly engaged, they could easily lead this nation out of the chaos in which the nation is if they stop being self-centered and just look beyond their confines and territories. You see, the acephalous nature and the egalitarian nature of their culturation program positions them to produce leaders not only for Nigeria, but for Africa. And this is what used to happen. What I will advise the youths of the Southeast is this. You need to look beyond the model of leadership that you have today, who are talking about marginalization and this and that, and realize that with the right leadership coming out of the Southeast, you will be able to look beyond the Southeast to bring out things that will favor not only the Southeast, but the rest of Nigeria and the rest of Africa by extension. I will challenge all young Igbo men, if you want to see the potential that God invested in the Igbo man, go and read a book published in 1789 by an Igbo man, a slave that escaped, who became freed. I think his name was Olaudua Ikiano. He was re-Christian Gustavus Vasa. He was one of the sons of Africa. This was 12 people who helped all blacks to become free. He wrote a book that was so articulate and manifested such leadership skills that was astonishing. And it was in that vein that Nnamdi Azikiwe initially was following until the exigencies of Nigerian politics made him to drop it. Within that Igbo subculture, there is a leadership skill available and potential available that if it is drawn upon with a concern for the whole of Nigeria, rather than this tribal little units, you will find out that they can actually work for the liberation not only of just the Igbo land, but the entirety of Nigeria. 50
years down the line, after the Civil War, when the Biafra agitation became so loud and clear, not only in Nigeria, but in the world, it came up, it reared its head again. With this action of the military, the DHI, a prescription of this group as a terrorist organization, do you think this is the end, this is the end of the Biafra agitation?
Well, you're right. You see, ideologies are ideas. Ideas don't die. You see, whenever an ideology is well put together, they do not die except you have the skill to neutralize it. And I want to say that this is not yet over. If we don't want the lives of these young men to go to waste, we're going to have to come and create counter-narratives. And we're going to have to work to help the people there to see why the ideology of Biafra, which is actually an idea, is an ideology that does not belong to the future. And why agitation along these directions will be counterproductive to the future of their own children. And also to point out to them that if they get it right and embrace the right ideology, which Igbo men before them have already started, but it was abandoned a few centuries ago and all that, if they take it up, really and truly, they will be the shining star of Africa.
All right. We'll take a breather. And up next on the program, to some, restructuring is a dose or what magical pill that cures all ailment. To others, it's just another cliche. Is restructuring overrated? The discussion continues right after now.